what are holidays going to look like? What's travel going to look like? What's gathering with family and friends going to look like? And for most of us, it's going to be very different. And whether that was predicted, whether you knew that was coming, earlier on in the year when we first went into quarantine and pandemic, or whether or not, maybe you thought that it would be resolved by now, right? The fact is that we're here at a time when things are going to look different. And we're moving into always trying to adapt and change to what different looks like, and finding some level of normalcy and routine and tradition and structure, right, to just keep us grounded in this time. And so it's very difficult, because just as a human, to live at this time and try to create some normalcy and structure for yourself is hard. And it takes a lot of effort to do, right? And so we're kind of always living in this little fear bubble that, we don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. And then if you're a parent, it's even more difficult, right? Because so much of our brain energy, our brain space, our time is dedicated to figuring things out, to problem solving, to making sure our kids have what they need, to trying to move forward and create a family culture of connection and normalcy and all of that, right? And so a time right now, we're moving into the holidays, which should be this time of bringing us back, grounding us into things like traditions and being with family and reminding us of what matters. That's going to sort of be off the table for most of us right now, and the benefit of that. So it's hard. We're grieving that, all of us, as a world culture. It's very difficult to move into this season if we're being true and aware of, our experience, of our energy, of what we're putting out into the world. It's a hard time. The flip side of that, of any change, of anything being, causing us to adapt to something new, the flip side is that we have an opportunity to really slow down and take this time to figure out what really matters to us right now. Okay. And so whether that's parenting values, whether that's who you are, right? Like taking time to find out what matters to you and what you need and to get your needs met, we have this opportunity to really slow down. Okay. And what we know and what we have come to find, right, since we started this group in April, is that, and for me, working for years with parents, is parents have, all of us, right? I'm a parent too, right? So parents have very limited capacity and brain space for digesting anything new that comes at us in a large chunk, okay, or with a lot of steps, right? Because we're always managing things all the time in family life. That's what it looks like, right? We're always running, whether it's running kids around, whether it's trying to do work and then work in the home and then meet the needs of the kids, right? We're always attending to things all the time. And so what happens for parents in general, regardless of whether we're living in a pandemic as well, right? And maybe navigating working from home and having kids at home more often, regardless of any of that, what happens for parents often is that we are pulled to so many different areas in our lives to make things work. And what most often happens is that there's little to no time and space that we create for ourselves to give ourselves what we need, right? And the real problem with that is that when you live on a chronic state of run, 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 with no time or season or practice of rhythm of slowing down, getting your needs met, checking in with yourself, regrounding in who you are and who you want to be, who you want your family to be, right? What you want life to look like. When we don't slow down and provide space for that, then we get to a place of overfunctioning for everybody else, burnout for us, right? And exhaustion, which affects our relationships with our partner, our relationships with our kids. It affects our work quality, right? It affects our own health levels and stress and immune systems. So in the end, when we live in this way for years and years and years on end, then we have real big consequences that will be lifelong if we don't get it together now, right? So our health will be impaired, relationships will deteriorate. That is what happens over time, right? When we live in this way. And the real truth is that there's no award for exhaustion, right? There's no benefit to burnout. There's no success in, there's no gold banner for, there's no prize for over functioning and neglecting yourself. All right. And it also paints a picture and models for our kids that in the end, their needs don't matter either. Because even though we're trying to meet their needs now, right, we're modeling for them that it's important to meet everybody else's needs and not their own. Okay. So this sets them up for not for success in the future for the same pattern that we're on, right? So it's a cycle. So we can burn out. They will function in the same way in relationships and in work and in life and not get their own needs met. So it's a time now then we have this opportunity to slow down and to be able to reset.